Hi everyone. I thought it would be fun. Somebody said about journal page layouts, and so I thought, okay. And after doing the autumn tags, I thought perhaps it would be really good. I would like to document autumn in my garden. So I've been out, I've taken some pictures, as you can see, of some of the garden, and I'm going to do a sort of page layout with them. Now this is, oh, I can't quite get it all in. No, that's as far out as it's going to go, so I'll go that way. It's a freebie I've put together, and it's on my website. So there are 3 calendars altogether. There's one with just September, and then you've got a little bit of a poem, and this one, Life Starts All Over Again When It Gets Crisp in the Fall, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And it's true. It's the beginning of the end of one year, and hopefully the start of another, not too far after. And then a couple of, so a 19th September, October 1932 calendar, and September, October 1933. So I thought, yep, I like those, I like the colours, and I do like the words. So I'll put a link below to that one, so you can go on the website. I'm pretty sure on the website you have to sign up to be able to access it. But then, yeah, let's have some fun. Right, I need to go and cut these out, and I will be right back. Right, so by the power of Photoshop editing, I've cut out, we got 4 pictures and 1 word. This is my journal. I've done quite a few of these page layouts before. Perhaps I ought to put them all together. So one of our days out at the beach. Yeah, bless her. And then this one was my family. My great nan. Blimey, she was a formidable woman. These weren't, I just wanted something pretty and to play with. And that's a great uncle. And then I've got a load more to fill in. So where are we going to start? Maybe oh, actually, that brown might look nice. Start on the first page. Right, I like that. That's kind of yellowy type page. And then I've got, if I adjust the lighting a bit, it's really dark here today. I've got some of the mixed media backgrounds. So it's not quite, my garden isn't quite orange yet. So I think I will use the lighter one of the 2. Actually. And then, so if we just, it would be just as easy to colour your own pages in. I quite like, being the lazy person that I am, I quite like having the work already done. Let's get rid of that lot. So I quite like that for that side, and maybe the journaling on this side. So that could be my pictures. So let's stick this down. Mind you, so we're talking about autumn and the weather, we've had a chilly spot. It hasn't been cold by any stretch, but the heating hasn't kicked in yet. But it is really noticeably cooler. And now this weekend, they're on about, we're going to get 24 degrees or something. Is that okay? Mind you, I noticed a couple of weeks ago that we got loads and loads of berries. We got a whole heap of apples on the trees and loads of berries, and it's like, ooh, you start to, sorry, looking for me pin. You do start to get worried because what's the old wives' tale? You see the berries because it's going to be a hard winter. And then MSN had something on their website about coldest winter in ages. I'm like, oh, wonderful. Actually, I think I quite like those better. Just starting to show this silver birch that's in the back garden. The leaves are just starting to come off it, but they're still green at the moment. And that's all the hawthorns at the field at the back of us. They're starting to turn. I thought I've got to have a picture of all the apples that we've got on our tree. They're only young trees. They're only about 5 years old. Just starting to come into their own now. But the hawthorn at the back, all the berries that are on that. So actually, I think I might have some of those. And then I can write the dates and stuff over. I quite like that picture. And then perhaps that's, so that one's brown or black, very dark brown. That one's a red. I think we'll go for the red. Where are we going with this? Actually, I watched a video on YouTube of a lady called Shawn Petite last night. And I'll put a link to the video below. And she described, well, she showed taking a stencil and using paint with it. And then using it as your actual outline for painting leaves. For those of us that are more challenged, i.e. me. And I thought that was brilliant. I have to say, I thought it was brilliant. So I want to do some of that up there as well. Okay, let's just... So we have trusty gesso. Little makeup sponge thingies. Oops. Simply because my paintbrushes are all in the sink. See, that's what being organised does for you. Not. Quite like the brown at the bottom, so we'll leave that. If I can just get those to... I think I've got the wrong gesso. I bought some of these. What is it? It is Peebo Studio Acrylics. It's just not quite thick enough. And it doesn't really cover unless you give it 3 or 4 coats. I've got some Ranger thick acrylic and that works a treat. So I think first of all, yep, I quite like my pictures over there. Maybe that can go in there. Oh, I quite like that. And then we can stencil some leaves around it. I cut these out and then I suddenly thought, actually, I quite like the rip look. So just some personal preference. I like that one on there. What do we think? That is too big. Scissors. Actually, let's put the words on after. So, quite like things at an angle. I think because the rest of life needs to be so. Actually, right. Walnut stone, blimey, that fell off. Okay, haven't got a. Let's see if this works. Oh my love. I want a nice big contrast. So, oh yeah. No, I do like it down there. So, that one. Yeah. Do you know what? I think it might just be easier to do it that way. I think it went roughly there. I just love messy fingers. Sign of a happy heart. I've already mixed, I've got some paint out. This is Hooker's Green, this one. Because I wanted, my leaves aren't quite yellow yet. So I'm thinking, let's do first one there. So if I bring that back through. And just dabbing it on. I was watching this lady, this Shawn Petite, doing this, and I was like, wow, why hadn't I ever thought of that? As you do when you're... now this is a mix of Hooker's Green and just white. Because I just wanted to give it a bit of contrast. And this is, sorry, acrylic paint. So I think a smaller one perhaps. Going. Oops. Go in there. You gotta love YouTube, haven't you? They just show you so many different things. It's just like, oh yeah, of course. Actually, what you're really thinking is, doll. Yeah, I like that. Right. I just want to add a bit of definition. So, just filling in the gaps. And also I think it makes it really nice to sort of say that it actually looks, this is just plain hooker's green, this one is. It makes it look hand painted. And actually you're cheating, but do you know what? It's a brilliant cheat. I just want to add a bit of contrast to it, and it makes it look like you've actually put a bit of effort in. Well, it does for one of my journal pages anyway. I watch some of these ladies and they journal and it's wow. I am practicing watercolours at the moment. I have got about 3 different watercolour kits, none of which I've really used. It's like, oh really? Right, so in my quest to use up loads of my stuff, I am binge watching YouTube videos. Just drag that down a bit. There we go. I think that'll do. I was having a play around and I did actually go and buy some spiced marmalade. Now, whether I've got a different kind of, by mistake, I picked up an oxide, distress oxide, rather than normal distressing, and it was a bit, so it was a little bright, I think is the way of saying it. So I've got normal tea dye, I've got a bit of wax paper to the one side here. And I found that by putting my paintbrush in some water and then putting it on a paintbrush, I can get some nice shades going on. And then I've got a leaf which is just starting to turn. It would help if I'd have dried my paint off, but if I'm honest, I normally, it's not a rush thing, but I'm not known for having the most patience in the world. So I'm just filling them in. Yeah. Right, let's give that a quick blast. Now I think, so I've got a wet paintbrush and I've just put it directly onto the ink pad now. Ah, there we go, just to give it a bit of extra. Oh, I quite like that. Wet paintbrush, distressing. This is, like I say, tea dye, this one is. I have to get some use out of all these. Give it a bit of brown. Actually, that I wonder if this will work. I've got some of this distress oxide marmalade. That jingling is my cat, who is sat on my desk opposite me, looking at me going, really? You're doing what? Oh, I like that, actually. So the tea dye on the bottom. And marmalade, is it? Oh, spice marmalade. I've got it in front of me because I'm terrible at remembering names. And it just, yeah. One day I'm going to learn to shut up through these and just fast forward it. I heard something the other day about it being people's attention span are getting shorter. And the news there is, I quite like that. I wonder what would happen if, this is a bit of walnut stain. Oh yeah, whoever knew you could paint with distressings? Well, that takes the edge off the green. So this is just a wet paintbrush again, and gone into the walnut stain. Blimey. And thanks to this lady, I know, Shawn Petite, I know that I can use my stencils to make it look like I can paint reasonably well. Let's give it a bit of, I think you can see this. I do sometimes get a little carried away with what I'm doing. There we go. Oh, I'm quite liking that as an autumn leaf. Not the tidiest thing you've ever seen in the world, but I never claim to be perfect in any way, shape or form. I think the other thing I'll do just to tie it all together now is just get around the edges so I can make my mistakes look like they were meant to be. There. Well, I have to say that this really does work. There we go. I have actually bought myself a flower press. Now, to distress or not to distress? Ooh. No, not to distress, I don't think. Right, I need a pen, excuse me. My writing is terrible, which is why I don't normally come on and do these, so Where are we? Second week of September. Let's stick these down. Yeah, sorry, carried away then with writing. I bought myself a flower press because I've been trying to do it amongst old leaves. So where are we going with this? Yep, quite like there. Then where are my words going to go? I think we'll put them down the side. And I've been doing them with old books and blotting paper, you know, aka how it was done in my youth. And I bought what looks to be a plastic Tupperware container now to do it in the microwave. So I will report back. Oh, inky fingers. I will report back. Right, I want these bits. So if I end up with the author there, I do like that sentiment. Life starts all over again when it gets crisp in the fall. It is a discussion my husband and I have. Will be winter. Oh! Okay, right, saved. See, this is why I am rubbish at talking and concentrating. So where are we going? Yeah. Let's go on a slant. That ties my two pictures together. Okay, that one should have been a lot thinner because that looks a bit odd now. Okay, that's not going to come off. Stuck-ish. Not all of it to the wrong places. What's this one? Seal. I wonder actually if it might have been neater just to have put some walnut stain underneath. Probably. But then I wouldn't have the same sense of accomplishment. I think I might have to go in and tidy that up. Either that or just make a huge feature of it there. Oh yeah. That actually looks quite good. So let's make a big feature of it. Get a rubber on those bits. Actually, looking at this, that looks empty. That is crying out for something else. So I think another leaf perhaps just to sort of plug the gap would look pretty nice. Except I think I'm going to mix a bit of brown. Right, we have Van Dyke brown. For those of you that like listening to me prattle on about things. Right, I'm going to shut up now. I am going to put this on fast forward and then come back to you once I've finished it. Right, I've got that one done. I think I prefer that colour combination. So that was Hooker's Green and Van Dyke Brown. And then I've just gone over the top with a paintbrush and some spice marmalade. Yeah, that certainly looks better. I'm thinking that still needs something. So maybe that over here. I'm trying to keep the words intact. Will I just rip out? I wonder actually. So many choices. Now then. No, can't do it upside down. That bit doesn't work. Right, so that's a bit too big. So if I get rid of that piece. Just has anybody ever tried printing on rice paper? I bought some rice paper the other day, and with the idea of doing decoupage on it, because no, I can't get that. That needs to go in that corner, and I've got those up there. No, I don't like that one. Okay. What are we up to? So I tried printing it out, and yes, a bit of trial and error, but it went through the printer, and I printed off some sheets of rice paper, and I was quite proud of myself. And then I figured that, ooh, it's not as translucent as that just looks a bit odd, like it's not grounded anywhere. So this is tea dye. So let's just add a bit of colour, perhaps. This has already got colour down the bottom. Break it up a bit. No, I still don't like that. Right, that I think is going to have to stop as it is, because I don't... Right at this moment in time, of course, put some words up there. Sometimes I scare myself. Oh dear. Oh, that looks all right, actually. Yeah, like that. It's just... Okay, I've given up with trying to find a big square piece. What they call the distress handle things. Ooh, lovely. That could actually fit on the top of my leaves. It does take... No, because I've got those down there, so... Yep. And that gets rid of me. Actually, let's get rid of those flowers. That's better. Just looks a bit more full. That's the trouble, isn't it? You can go on and just keep adding. I know I do. Perhaps other people are a little more restrained than I am. Yeah, there. So if I'd have put those, if I'd have thought about it, I'd have put those over there. Now that looks much better. I haven't got so much. All my little bits that I've cut out. No, I still don't like any of those. Mind you, who's to say they have to go up the right way? No, still don't like that. Right, I am actually going to call it quits now. So there we go. That's my I can't help myself. I am so sorry. Actually, I didn't film this bit. I put some of the coloured micropore tape on. I did it in one of the tag tutorials. So it's micropore tape that I've just coloured in. This one with tea dye. I've just gone over the top with the distressing. So I've just added a bit of, yeah, it just gives it a bit of something. Right, there we go. That's it. I'm not going to touch it again. I'm going to go away and think, I'm not happy with this bit, but I can't change that now. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'll put a link to the freebie. I will put a link to the lady's website or YouTube channel that I saw this being done on, which I think is brilliant. It gives all of us a hope of actually doing a bit of painting and actually looking like we know what we're doing. So until next week, you take care now. Speak to you later. Bye.